Chimpanzee. Chimpanzees are often considered the smartest non-human animals on Earth, and for good reason. They share about 98.8% of human DNA and display astonishing cognitive abilities in the wild and in labs. Chimps make and use tools with purpose, stripping leaves off sticks to fish termites out of mounds, cracking nuts with stones, and sharpening branches into primitive spears to hunt small mammals. They also show social intelligence. They form alliances, reconcile after conflicts, and understand rank dynamics inside their groups. In memory tests, some chimpanzees outperform humans in short-term visual recall, especially when numbers flash quickly on screens. They can also learn symbol systems and basic sign communication, demonstrating understanding of requests, object labels, and sequencing. Chimpanzees teach skills culturally too, meaning different chimp populations have different traditions for solving the same problem. That is huge. It means intelligence is not just instinct, but transmitted knowledge. They deceive rivals, plan group hunts, and adapt tactics depending on target prey. Chimp intelligence is physical, social, and strategic all at once, making them one of the clearest mirrors of early human cognition alive today. Orangutan. Orangutans are the quiet engineers of the rainforest, with problem-solving ability that rivals great apes and sometimes surprises human researchers. Native to Borneo and Sumatra, they spend most of their lives in trees, and that environment has shaped exceptional spatial reasoning. Orangutans build new sleeping nests almost every night, carefully selecting branches, weaving support layers, and even adding pillows and rain covers in some cases. They use tools in the wild, including sticks, to extract seeds from spiky fruits and to probe insect nests. Captive orangutans have solved complex puzzles involving locks, latches, and multi-step sequences with minimal demonstration. Their long juvenile development, up to 8 years with intensive maternal learning, allows young orangutans to absorb highly detailed foraging knowledge. They also show delayed gratification and future planning, saving useful tools for later tasks rather than using them immediately. In cognition studies, orangutans can infer hidden causes, track object permanence, and solve mechanical tasks through insight, not just trial and error. Their intelligence is methodical and deliberate rather than flashy. They don't rush. They think, test, and optimize. In terms of strategic thinking and technical skill, orangutans are among the most sophisticated minds in the animal kingdom. Dolphin. Dolphins, especially bottlenose dolphins, combine social intelligence, communication complexity, and self-awareness in ways few animals can match. Their brains are large relative to body size and highly folded, associated with advanced information processing. Dolphins can understand symbolic language, follow abstract commands like do something new, and mimic both other dolphins and humans. They also pass the mirror self-recognition test, showing awareness that the reflection is themselves, a rare trait shared with only a handful of species. In the wild, dolphins use tools. Some populations carry marine sponges on their snouts to protect themselves while foraging on rough seafloors. They coordinate cooperative hunts by corralling fish with bubble nets or mud plumes, then taking turns feeding. Communication is deeply individualized. Signature whistles function like names, and dolphins can recognize and respond to specific whistles years later. Their social networks are dynamic and strategic, with alliances that can persist for decades. They also engage in play for no immediate survival reason, a hallmark of cognitive richness. Dolphins are not just smart at tasks. They are smart in relationships, memory, adaptation, and innovation. Their intelligence operates across emotional and tactical domains, making them one of the most cognitively complex animals in the ocean. Orca. Orcas, or killer whales, are apex predators with cultural intelligence that may be unmatched among marine mammals. They have large, complex brains and live in tightly structured social groups led by matriarchs, where survival depends on learned knowledge passed across generations. Different orca populations have distinct dialects, hunting methods, and food preferences effectively separate cultures. Some pods specialize in fish. Others specialize in marine mammals. Their techniques are stunningly precise: wave-washing seals off ice floes, coordinated ambushes on whales, and strategic splitting of prey groups. Orcas teach these behaviors to young members through repeated demonstrations and cooperative practice. That teaching component is critical. It means intelligence is cumulative, not just instinctive. Orcas also exhibit long-term memory, social loyalty, and coordinated decision-making over long distances. Studies show post-reproductive females increase pod survival by sharing ecological memory, such as where salmon can still be found during low food years. In other words, elder knowledge keeps families alive. Orca intelligence is collective as much as individual. They think as a unit, communicate with precision, and execute multi-stage strategies with timing that looks almost military. Few animals combine social structure, cultural inheritance, and tactical hunting at this level. Elephant. Elephants have some of the most impressive emotional and social intelligence of any land animal. They possess large brains with well-developed regions linked to memory and empathy, and their behavior reflects that complexity. Elephants recognize themselves in mirrors, indicating self-awareness. They also identify individual humans by voice, scent, and clothing cues, and can distinguish between different threat levels. Their memory is legendary. For real reasons, matriarchs remember migration routes, water locations, and social histories over decades, guiding herds through drought and danger. Elephants show clear signs of grief, lingering around bones of dead relatives, touching skulls gently with trunks, and displaying altered behavior after loss. They cooperate in problem-solving tasks, coordinate movements in groups, and assist injured herd members. Communication extends far beyond vocal calls, including low-frequency infrasound that can travel several kilometers. They also use tools, such as branches to swat flies or plug water holes. In intelligence tests, elephants demonstrate delayed gratification, causal understanding, and flexibility in unfamiliar challenges. Their minds are deeply social, built around memory, care, and coordination. Elephant intelligence is not just about solving puzzles. It is about maintaining a complex society across space, time, and generations. Crow. Crows are often called feathered primates because of their astonishing problem-solving skills. Members of the corvid family, especially New Caledonian crows, manufacture and modify tools in the wild, shaping hooks from twigs or cutting leaves into precise foraging tools. They can solve multi-step puzzle boxes requiring sequence planning, not random pecking. In lab studies, crows have used one tool to get another tool, then used that second tool to retrieve food, a clear demonstration of hierarchical reasoning. They also understand water displacement in tasks similar to Aesop's fable, dropping stones into containers to raise water and access floating food. Crows recognize individual human faces and remember threats for years, even warning other crows through social learning. That means one crow's bad experience becomes group knowledge. They plan ahead, too. Some species cache food strategically and retrieve it later, while also re-hiding food if they think another crow observed the cache location. This combination of tool use, social memory, and tactical deception is exceptional. Crow intelligence is fast, flexible, and practical. They adapt in urban and wild environments by learning rules, exploiting opportunities, and teaching each other what works. Raven. Ravens are among the smartest birds alive, with cognitive abilities that rival great apes in some tasks. They excel at planning, social manipulation, and causal reasoning. Ravens cache food in many locations and remember not only where they hid it, but who was watching. If a raven suspects another bird saw the cache, it may return later and move the food to a new location, showing perspective taking and strategic deception. In controlled experiments, ravens have demonstrated future planning by choosing and saving tools to solve tasks hours later. They also solve complex mechanical puzzles involving strings, latches, and sequential actions. Socially, ravens maintain long-term relationships and appear to understand rank and alliances. Young ravens engage in exploratory play and object experimentation, behavior linked to cognitive development in many intelligent species. Their vocal repertoire is also sophisticated, with context-specific sounds and mimicry capabilities. Ravens thrive in harsh environments, partly because they can innovate under pressure and exploit new food sources quickly. Intelligence for ravens is not a single trait. It is a package: memory, strategy, social awareness, and adaptability. That package has made them one of the most evolutionarily successful and behaviorally advanced birds on the planet. African gray parrot. African gray parrots are widely regarded as the most cognitively advanced birds in language-like communication. Their intelligence became famous through Irene Pepperberg's work with Alex, an African gray who demonstrated understanding of colors, shapes, materials, numbers, and basic concepts like same versus different. Alex was not just mimicking sounds. He used words contextually to identify objects, request items, and answer questions correctly. African greys have remarkable vocal learning ability, but their real power is conceptual mapping, linking sounds to meaning. They can solve object permanence tasks, remember categories, and perform simple arithmetic like counting in some studies. In social settings, they learn by observation and adapt quickly to human routines and cues. Their brains are small in absolute size, but densely packed with neurons in forebrain regions important for cognition. That neural efficiency likely contributes to their high performance in problem solving. In the wild, African greys live in socially complex flocks, where communication and memory are essential for survival. Their intelligence combines symbolic learning, social awareness, and flexible adaptation. For a bird, that is extraordinary. They show that advanced cognition is not limited to mammals with large brains. Octopus. Octopuses are the most intelligent invertebrates known, and their cognitive style is radically different from vertebrate intelligence. They have around 500 million neurons, with a large fraction distributed in their arms, allowing semi-independent control and sensing. Each arm can explore and manipulate objects with local decision-making, while the central brain coordinates higher-level behavior. Octopuses solve mazes, open jars, navigate complex enclosures, and escape tanks through tiny gaps. They show curiosity and object play, interacting with unfamiliar items even when no food is involved. In experiments, octopuses learn quickly through trial and error and can retain solutions over time. They also use tools in some contexts, like carrying coconut shells for future shelter. Camouflage control alone requires extraordinary neural processing. They can change color, pattern, and skin texture almost instantly based on visual input. Octopus intelligence is highly embodied, meaning cognition is integrated into movement, touch, and real-time interaction with the environment. They are mostly solitary, so their intelligence evolved more around exploration and problem-solving than social politics. Even so, their flexibility and innovation are exceptional. Octopuses prove that complex minds can evolve along very different biological pathways. Pig. Pigs are far more intelligent than most people assume, often outperforming dogs in certain learning and memory tasks. They quickly learn routes, object location associations, and symbol response systems. In touchscreen experiments, pigs have used joysticks and screens to move cursors toward targets, demonstrating motor learning and visual discrimination. They can understand basic commands, solve simple puzzles, and remember solutions over long periods. Socially, pigs show nuanced behavior. They read body language, establish hierarchies, and can use social information to find food. In one study, pigs watched another pig locate hidden food, then followed strategically, while sometimes trying to avoid being observed themselves. That suggests both learning and tactical awareness. Pigs are also emotionally expressive, showing stress, playfulness, and affiliative behavior depending on environment. Their intelligence is tied to curiosity and exploration. Given enriched settings, pigs investigate objects, test interactions, and adapt behavior rapidly. Much of their reputation as simple farm animals comes from confinement systems that suppress natural cognition. In the right conditions, pigs show memory, learning speed, and social strategy that place them among the smarter mammals. Rat. Rats are one of the most cognitively underestimated animals on Earth. They learn quickly, remember efficiently, and adapt to complex environments with remarkable flexibility. In mazes, rats build spatial maps rather than just memorizing turns, allowing them to reroute when obstacles appear. They can perform pattern recognition, timing tasks, and probability-based decision-making. Rats also demonstrate metacognitive-like behavior in some studies, essentially showing uncertainty responses when they know they don't know. Socially, rats are cooperative and empathetic. In famous experiments, rats worked to free trapped cage mates even when no direct reward was offered, and some shared food afterward. They also learned by observing others, acquiring new strategies without direct trial and error. Their whisker-based sensory system and rapid learning make them exceptional problem solvers in low-light environments. Much of modern neuroscience relies on rats precisely because their learning mechanisms are robust and measurable. In urban settings, rat intelligence becomes obvious. They exploit human systems, avoid repeated traps, and adjust behavior to changing threats. Rat cognition is practical, resilient, and highly adaptive. Border Collie? Border Collies are often considered the most intelligent dog breed, especially in working and communication tasks. Their intelligence is not just obedience. It is rapid pattern detection, response control, and human cue interpretation at a very high level. Border Collies can learn the names of hundreds of objects and retrieve them by verbal label. Some famous individuals learned over 1,000 words, rivaling language-trained parrots in vocabulary size. They also infer meaning through exclusion, choosing a new object when hearing a new word among known items. In herding work, border collies process movement patterns across large groups of animals and respond to complex directional commands at long distances. That requires attention control, memory, and real-time decision-making under pressure. Their problem-solving speed is among the fastest measured in domestic dogs. They are also highly sensitive to human gaze, posture, and tone, allowing near-instant communication with handlers. This cognitive intensity has a downside. Without mental stimulation, border collies develop stress behaviors because their brains are built for continuous challenge. In the right role, though, they are extraordinary, combining trainability, memory, and strategic responsiveness. Capuchin Monkey. Capuchin monkeys are small primates with disproportionately advanced cognitive abilities, especially in tool use and social strategy. In the wild, some capuchin populations use stones to crack nuts and shellfish, selecting specific hammer and anvil stones for different materials, that is, deliberate tool selection based on task demands. They also wash food, inspect unfamiliar objects, and explore mechanical relationships through play and manipulation. Social intelligence is equally strong. Capuchins track status, alliances, and reciprocity within groups. They remember who shared food and who did not, adjusting behavior accordingly. In experimental settings, capuchins understand simple exchange systems and can use tokens to trade for rewards. They are also famous for fairness sensitivity. When one monkey receives a better reward for the same task, others may protest or refuse participation. That reaction hints at comparative social evaluation, a complex cognitive trait. Capuchins learn quickly from observation and can generalize skills across contexts. Their intelligence combines dexterity, memory, and social calculation. For a monkey under 5 kilos, they deliver cognitive performance far beyond what their size might suggest. Bonobo. Bonobos are one of humanity's closest living relatives and exhibit high social and emotional intelligence. Like chimpanzees, they use tools, solve problems, and understand symbolic communication to some degree. What stands out in bonobos is social cognition. They are highly sensitive to group dynamics, emotional states, and conflict management. Bonobo societies are generally less violent and more cooperative than chimp societies, with strong female alliances and frequent affiliative behavior used to reduce tension. In language studies, some bonobos learn to use lexigram boards to communicate requests and understand spoken phrases, including basic word order distinctions. They show perspective taking in social interactions and can coordinate cooperative tasks requiring shared goals. Bonobos also display empathy-related behaviors, comforting distressed group members and helping juveniles beyond immediate kin. Their intelligence seems especially tuned to relationship maintenance, negotiation, and social flexibility. That makes them a valuable model for understanding the evolutionary roots of cooperation and emotional regulation in primates. Bonobo cognition is not just about solving physical puzzles. It is about navigating complex social worlds with sensitivity and adaptability. Sperm whale. Sperm whales combine extreme ecological adaptation with deep social intelligence. They have the largest brain of any living animal, averaging around 7 to 8 kilograms. Brain size alone does not prove intelligence, but sperm whale behavior strongly suggests advanced cognition. They live in matrilineal social groups where females and calves maintain long-term cooperative bonds, including alloparental care and collective defense. Communication is built around patterned click sequences called codas. Different clans have distinct coda patterns, effectively cultural dialects passed across generations. That means sperm whale societies carry learned traditions, not just instinctive calls. They coordinate deep foraging dives that can exceed 1,000 meters and over an hour in duration, requiring sophisticated timing and physiological control. Social learning is central. Juveniles acquire foraging and communication behaviors over years within stable family units. Sperm whales also display behavioral responses to dead group members consistent with grief-like social attachment, lingering and supporting bodies at the surface. Their intelligence appears distributed across memory, communication, social structure, and environmental mastery in one of Earth's most extreme habitats. They are not just giant predators, they are giant social thinkers.